All right, there we go. Come on in. Come on in, y'all. Come on in. Good afternoon, Logic Slayer. Good afternoon. Come on in. My mom and them always told me when you come in the room, you should speak. I never liked that as a general rule, but I'm pulling it out as the rule today. Good afternoon, Candy D. Good afternoon. Look up there. Everything is backwards. It's this side. Good afternoon. It is Friday. It is Friday. I got some stuff up here. I got to look around to see everything that I need to see. Marquita, Jason, Logic Slayer, Candy D. Come on in. Come in. Say good afternoon. Anthony, good afternoon. Welcome to the afternoon experiment. That's right. We still trying this thing out. We still trying it out. I had an appointment again today. I pushed it back. I told him I think I can make it at 3:30. I said, I think I can make it at 3:30. So I had to be here. Vincent, good afternoon. Good afternoon. This is Purnell. Good afternoon, Purnell. Good afternoon, Paul. I'm going to have to move this. I don't like not being able to see what I'm trying to see. Tria, good afternoon. Anthony, good afternoon. That's how my aunts and them would say it. Anthony. They would just ignore the H altogether. Just Anthony. Let's see, Purple Rain. Good afternoon. J Rose. I'm in Facebook probation. I'm on probation. I'm on probation. Let's see. So when you call in, is it on topic or what's on the caller's mind? You can call in and talk about whatever's on your mind if you want to call in. I'm comfortable with that. 513-717-KING. 513-717-5464. Okay, hold on. Rick Owens. Say I need to move this over here because this is in the way. Y'all can't see this, but this is in the way. Robert Willis. Lewis says Aaron Pryor, Icky Woods was at the Ponderosa Steakhouse. What? Angela, Jan, Stefan, Jerica, or as she's better known, Jerika. Hola, Yo Underwood, Greg. All right, let me say this. First, thank you all for your support. Thank you very much. Let me put the number back up just in case somebody comes in and decides they want to get involved in the conversation. And I have to say, I finally watched Encanto. Now, if you don't have kids, you don't do the Disney thing, then you don't know nothing about it. But yeah, that little baby came over. This morning, of course, early in the morning. And I thought I was going to have to give her a whooping. I don't know why I'm whispering. I thought I was going to have to get a little baby a whooping. She was acting funny. I don't like that. She was acting funny. I didn't. You know what I'm saying? She allowed to have her little attitudes here and there. But I did tell her, hey, you need to straighten that up. And then she was going, she was still acting a little funny, but then she finally turned and looked at my face. And I had I don't know what that looked like to y'all, but to her, that meant business. And so she straightened right up. And, I asked her what you want to do. She wanted to get on the phone. But then we ended up watching Encanto. Eh, It was all right. It was all right. I mean, it wasn't bad. It's a kids movie. It wasn't bad. They need to redo a black Disney movie. They need to redo a black Disney movie. You know, that Princess and the Frog stuff. That wasn't good. That was not a good one. Blacks, like, I think that they respected Latino culture in the movie. They respected it. I mean, it was still a Disney movie, but yeah, they respected Latino culture. They didn't. They wasn't crazy. And what was Princess and the Frog? It was uh, 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 the voodoo guy, and then somebody was of course, the dude was a frog, and it just wasn't respectful. Like, it was, out there. This ain't a huge deal. It's just something I was thinking about. Just something I was thinking about. They need to do Encanto like Disney movie with black people, where it's just a cute little story for the kids with black characters showing a whole family. They showed a whole family: mama, daddy, children, grandchildren, other people being married. You know what I'm saying? They showed a family. What's disrespectful about Voodoo? Was that the dude's name? Was that the dude's name? Voodoo? All I know is it was disrespectful. It didn't feel right. It didn't feel right. Show a family. You know what I'm saying? I think they didn't talk about Bruno, but when Bruno showed up, they showed him love. Like, we missed you. We love you. We missed you. We love you. We don't care about nothing else. You're a part of our family. So I just, it was a decent little movie. It was a decent little movie. I just want to, see some black people with like a whole family where they all love each other, to show that image to kids. How about that? How about that? And I was out late yesterday. I was at a spot picking up something that I had bid on and won. And there were some Latino people out, and they were cleaning up, cleaning up, cutting the grass and doing the mulch and all of that kind of stuff. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. But there was this white lady in the line, which it was a super long line. It was a super long line. If you've ever been bid FTA out in Amelia, you know that line was long. It was a super long line. And a lady was standing behind me, her and her daughter, white lady and her white daughter. And they were talking about how much they respect Latinos because they're the hardest working people in America, and they love just as hard. And I was thinking, I ain't got nothing against Latinos. I'm not anti-Latino at all. But that felt racist to me. And I understood that what she thought she was saying was positive, but that felt racist to me. And I don't even know why. And when you hear white people talking about how hardworking Latino people are and how they love each other and their family, blah, blah, blah. Some of that is true. Well, I mean, it's stereotypical. There's some lazy ass Latinos out there too. But some of that is true. I just didn't feel like it was coming from the right space. I didn't feel like it was coming from the right space. Now that was disrespectful. The Hispanics were cleaning and landscaping. How is it disrespectful? That's what they were doing. It's not disrespectful to say that a landscaper is landscaping. That's not disrespectful. Not even a little bit. But see, and make because Jerika, I say, they were doing landscaping, and it seemed like something that we just kind of say is like a stereotypical thing. I'm feeling like maybe that's what I was feeling with the white lady. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But somebody said they do the jobs we won't do. No, they don't. That's not true. The money right, you can get crews of black people to go do landscaping. That's not. I don't know that that's true. I don't know that that's true. I'm with you, Tim. Tim said black people been doing them jobs. Yeah. Yeah. And I think under the right circumstances, well, not even under the right circumstances, there's a lot of black landscaping companies out there. It's a lot of black landscaping companies, people who do other things. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Jason said, when you seen a black crew doing a roof? I just talked to a pastor. Excuse me. I just talked to a pastor who hired a black crew to do his roof, to be exact. So black people do roofing, black people do landscaping, black people do concrete work, black people. Jason, don't fall for that trick that black people won't do this or black people won't do that. That's wrong. That's black people lazy. I know you not saying that, but it's kind of what you insinuate without actually insinuating. So, yeah, no, that's not what you're saying. It's not true. Tim say she used to do roofing herself. All right. I don't know why. I can't imagine that. I'm not saying you couldn't. I can't imagine that. Maurice says, not here in Cincinnati. That's not true. Here in Cincinnati. The pastor that I know has a church here in Cincinnati. And he had black people come in and do his roof. And it was a whole crew. I don't know how many people it was. I didn't ask him. But he was mentioning that it was a lot of black people. Well, he didn't say a lot. He just said it was all black crew. Lil says, me and my uncle just did a roof when we both black. So yeah, come on, y'all. Black people work. Now you'll never see a bunch of black folks chasing chickens at a chicken farm. I don't know what that means. But yeah, Tina says she did. Look, if you say you did, I'll take your word for it. You say you did it, I'll take your word for it. They out there working all kinds of jobs. I'm just saying, when I heard the lady say it about how hardworking they are, I was thinking, look, it's something different. If I throw out a stereotype, I know some people ain't gonna agree with me. If I throw out a stereotype, I feel it's different than if a white person throws out a stereotype. Because I don't have a history of using racial stereotypes to put people in a box and discriminate against them and abuse them and all of that kind of stuff. So she might have meant it in the most innocent way. But I had a problem with it. I had a problem with it. Maurice keeps saying hi. I don't know why. Let's see. So what are the topics for today's experiment? We just gonna talk, man. We just gonna talk about stuff. We got to talk about a little bit about violence. Got to talk a little bit about violence. Violence has been kind of at the forefront of things for the past couple weeks. Violence in some way, shape, or form. Did y'all see the video of the young man turning himself in? I know I might be late. Y'all know I wasn't on for the past couple days. Did y'all see the video of the young man turning himself in, who's suspected of doing the shooting over there in Covington? Y'all see the video? I want to talk about the video and the turning himself in and all that stuff in just a minute. But first, I got to kind of start with the petty. Why did he have on a bonnet? Like, he didn't have on like a wave cap. Like, is that a thing now? Are the young brothers wearing bonnets? Like, he had on a whole bonnet. And y'all know, I'm not against if you're a woman and you want to wear your bonnet to go to the grocery store, I'm not against that. Okay? Not against it. Mael should say she didn't see the video. Was he white or black? He was black. But I'm not against it. I'm not against women wearing it. But his brother's wearing bonnets now? Is it? Hold on. I'm gonna see if I can let me see if I can find the video. Let me see if I can find the video. Somebody was saying they didn't see the video. Was it Fox 19? Hold on. Because it was live on. They were doing an interview when he came and he turned himself in. See, I think it was Fox 19. I'm not sure. I see stuff and I don't necessarily remember where I saw it. Let me see. Let me go here. And yeah, it was here. Now, I don't know if y'all gonna be able to hear this. Let me see if I can take this. Hold on. I have to go here. And I have to go here. I don't know. Let me back it up. He's doing an interview, and dude just walks in. He just walks in, and this is the dude turning himself in. But he got on a whole bonnet. And I'm like, I didn't know. I noticed this. It's the most petty of all the things that I could be talking about surrounding this. But yeah, he had on a bonnet. Well, I think maybe they don't show minors, but because he showed up in the middle of an interview, they was like, what? Mario should say, I thought you was lying. He tell you I don't be lying about stuff. I don't lie. Maybe he has locks. Okay. Maybe. But yeah, I was like, he got on a bonnet. It threw me just for a minute. Like, what is going on? But look, and again, I'm not against people wearing bonnets. All right. I'm not against people wearing bonnets. Not against people wearing bonnets, but it threw me just a little bit. And But okay, so let's move on from the bonnet. Let's move on from the bonnet. I would love it if you know, is that a thing now? That's all I'm really asking about it. I'm not judging him. I'm not saying anything bad about him. He's not guilty of anything. He's accused of something, and he turned himself in, which is the I guess the responsible thing to do. That's the responsible thing to do. So I don't know that he did anything wrong, but if they put his name out and they say they looking for him, I like the fact that his mama, at least that's the way I'm taking it. His mama said, your name is out there on the news. They not gonna be out here looking for you and find you and shoot you, something like that. Let's go on down there right now and turn you in. And we'll deal with the repercussions when they happen. But we going down there and turn you in. They not hunting you down, finding you somewhere, shooting and killing you. So I respect that. I respect that. And again, innocent until proven guilty. Again, just the bonnet threw me. That's it. Remember bonnets in the 80s with the Jerry curls? Them wasn't bonnets. Them wasn't bonnets. Your little plastic cap or whatever to keep the juice in, to keep the hair moisturized. I guess that's the appropriate way to say it. Them wasn't bonnets. That's different. Yeah, those were bags. Those were straight bags on your head. Plastic bags. Lewis said it's called a Jiffy Pop. Are you being for real? Is that what they're calling it now? A Jiffy Pop. It is much better to be murdered than to go to jail for murder. Now, you sound like a damn fool. That don't make sense. Stop it. You just say stuff just to have said something ridiculous. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. But anyway, all right, violence. We got to do something about violence. I ain't even necessarily talking about shooting. And I keep saying this. I've been saying this for 20 something years. And I mean it as seriously as I can mean it. I need the older brothers. Like not my age, but older than me. Stop promoting violence. I was listening to the Lincoln Ware show, and I heard Doug Springs call in, talking about, back in my day, we fought with our hands and so on and so forth. When you say that, you're promoting violence, right? So let's stop promoting violence, even hand-to-hand violence. When I was coming up, my mama, my daddy taught me a few things. Number one, we all heard, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt. Okay, we know names kind of hurt. But I was always taught people got a right to say what they want to say. But that don't mean you get to put your hands on nobody. Because somebody said something that you don't like, because somebody insulted you. You don't get to put your hands on nobody. When you get to put your hands on somebody is when they about to try to put their hands on you, or when they have put their hands on you. That's when. Cam says, man, I bet you got punked out a lot. Well, I guess it all depends on your definition of punked out. I was never scared of nobody. I don't ever remember running from nobody. But I wasn't one of them dudes who you can't say nothing, or If that's what you mean by punked out, somebody said something that I didn't like and I didn't physically assault them, then yeah, I got punked out a lot. But by that same token, I would say I did my fair share of punking. I did my fair share of punking people out because, of course, I said things that people didn't like. So I don't know. Maybe I got punked out a lot. But I need my older people to stop pushing violence as the answer to problems. Because, because, and look, I'm trying to not talk about Will Smith. I'm trying to not talk about Will Smith because I mean, even though he fits kind of in this category, but I'm just trying to talk about just regular run of the mill people that I hear talk on a regular basis. And when I hear a lot of my elders, them dudes in their 60s and 70s, and some even in their 80s, and I'm like, you 70 something years old, and you still haven't learned the lesson that violence is not the answer to your problem, that violence is not the way to solve issues. Because listen, if you telling people that if somebody says something you don't like, or if somebody does something that you don't like, that it's okay to hit them, punch them. It's 2022. You got to realize that when you promote violence as the answer, the violence that's coming, for the most part, is not going to be throwing hands. Not that there aren't still people who throw hands. But the idea that, I'm sorry, I glanced over and saw this. I went to Aiken the same time that you did. No, you didn't. There is no record of you punking anyone out at Aiken. You did not go to Aiken when I did. And again, if you heard the definition of punking out, then all that means is saying stuff to people and not getting into a fight. So that's that. But yeah, no, you did not go to Aiken when I went to Aiken. Trust me. You didn't. And I'm not saying trust me to you. You know you didn't. You know you just made that up. But yeah. He didn't go to Aiken, or she, I don't even know if that's a male or a female, did not go to Aiken. But encouraging violence. Now DeAndre says, can you tell someone how to defend themselves? Of course you can. But that's what I'm saying. There's a difference between defending yourself. I was taught, yeah, defend yourself. If somebody is about to put their hands on you or has put their hands on you, you got a right to defend yourself. But just because somebody say what you say, somebody say not what you say, what you don't like, then you don't have a right to put hands on them. You just don't. And that can't be the standard. But that's a lot of what happened. That's a lot of what happens. Jen says, I don't think they're promoting violence. I think they're trying to de-escalate violence and killing. How are you de-escalating violence by telling people to be violent? How are you de-escalating violence by encouraging violence? That don't even make, to me, that don't make sense. They might think that they're not promoting violence, but encouraging people to be violent, to punch people. You know what? When I was coming up, people said stuff that we didn't like. We just punched them in the face. I'm encouraging nonviolence. Come on. If that's what they think, they're not that bright. If that's what they think, they're not that bright. fighting is a sport, boxing is a sport. They're not encouraging boxing. They're encouraging fighting, and that fighting is not a sport. That fighting is just violence. Using that ridiculous logic. Using that ridiculous logic. Well, Will Smith was being an athlete when he got up on the stage and slapped Chris Rock. Who just show of hands, who think Will Smith was just participating in a sport? Come on. Nobody thinks that. That's stupid. Why y'all just want to say stupid stuff today? Punching is better than shooting. Not punching is better than punching. But you know it's 2022 and you know that punching leads to shooting. So why encourage someone to start on the pathway to shooting? Why encourage that? That don't make sense to me. Janice says they're merely trying to tell people how they settle beefs without killing one another, not promoting violence. They are definitely promoting violence. Definitely. They are telling people how they settle beefs without killing each other. How did they settle those beefs? Just tell me, how did they settle those beefs? It's a word. It begins with a V. It's not Viagra. How did they settle those beefs? If they're not promoting violence, they're just telling people how they settle beef with violence. They are promoting violence. Anthony says, even if they do throw hands, one goes down and the other wants to stomp the person's head. Now, let me be clear about this. I'm against violence. I'm against violence. But I am one of those people who believe that once violence starts, and this is why I don't get with the encouraging throwing hands. Once violence starts, it ends when the person who had violence visited upon them say that it ends. If I'm doing nothing to you but using words, and then you cross over into the physical, you don't get to tell me when the physical stops. You don't get to tell me, well, you get to slap me. Well, you get to punch me. Well, you get to this, or well, you get to that. And that's how you end up with people shot. Sometimes. That's how you end up with people shot. If you hit me and I shoot you, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Because guess what? Don't hit me and we don't have that problem. But if you encouraging people to hit people, knowing, again, it's 2022, you hit somebody, it's a good possibility that it's going to escalate to gun violence or something like that. You are kind of in a roundabout way encouraging gun violence. You're encouraging killing. I'm just trying to tell people. I'm just trying to tell people that come on. Don't be, there you go. There are no rules in fighting. Don't be violent. And we got people out here running around being violent. Again, I don't care what you say. I'm not one of these people who, oh, you can't just disrespectful and you can't disrespect me and just walk away. That's putting too much stock in what you think and what you say and how that affects me. You can say damn near anything And I don't care because who are you? Who are you? Everybody's got a right to their opinions. Everybody's got a, you know, you can think I'm the worst person, the stupidest person, the ugliest person, the whatever. You can think that if you like. But how do that affect my life? Now you putting your hands on me on the other hand. That affects me. Because you could kill me, you hit me the wrong way. You could you could kill me if you hit me the wrong way. So I really think it's a problem of violence as a way to solve problems in our communities. And when I say our communities, I don't mean Black communities. I mean in America. Because contrary to popular belief, white people kill white people too. White people kill white people. Latinos kill Latinos. Asians kill Asians. Jewish people kill Jewish people. So people always think when you're talking about violence and whatnot, or at least I guess they think it with me. When you talk about that, then you're talking about Black people. I'm just talking about people. I'm talking about people. Timothy says, I'm talking about people with no intention on fighting, but with a gun, looking for chances to use them. All right. Like who? Who are you talking about? And again, if you are encouraging violence as the answer to someone saying something that you don't like, when we had beef when I was coming up, somebody said something about your mama, then you just hit them and then y'all fought. That translates in 2022. Somebody say something about your mama, you just pull out a gun and you shoot them and you settle that beef. I don't understand why a lot of these people don't understand that this is the beef settling of 2022, what y'all did back in the 40s and the 50s, 30s to 20s. What y'all was doing back then, that's not how people getting down now. Right, Anthony, our parents taught us to keep our hands to ourselves, but if someone hit us, try to wear their ass out. That is almost word for word what my mama said. Almost word for word. You don't put your hands on nobody. And I don't run around, trying to tell my children that the way to solve problems is to fight people. That's exceptionally irresponsible. Exceptionally irresponsible in 2022. So you got a group fight happening, which I guess all of the old people was cheering, like, yeah, they're fighting. Yes, yay, fight, fight. Like kids, fight, fight, fight. They're doing what we keep telling them to do. But then, yeah, it turns into something else. It turns into something else. Brenda says, an E-man would not give you $150 for bail. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I don't know what did Glenn say that set Brenda off? And I know it don't take much. Emanuel threatened me at 4 a.m. in Facebook comments. I did not threaten you at 4 a.m. I did not threaten you. Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Emanuel, don't you watch wrestling though? Yes, I do. Please explain to me the connection. One is it's like saying, you don't believe in violence, but then watching a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger. You don't believe in war, but then watching a movie where a war happens. Maybe you didn't know this, Cam, and I'll let you know. I'll let you know. Because for some people, this is still a secret. Don't tell nobody I told y'all this, though. Cam, don't tell nobody that I told you this. They're not actually fighting on wrestling. They're matches with predetermined winners. They're pretending to not like each other. I mean, every once in a while, somebody will actually not like somebody, but then they'll still, like, if they jump off the rope and they about to land wrong, they'll still catch them so that they don't hurt themselves. It's not real fighting. They're pretending. Don't tell nobody I told you this. And if I ruined it for you, I apologize. I apologize. But they're not, like when they pull out that sledgehammer and hit, they not really trying to smash nobody's head in with a sledgehammer. I'm sorry, I didn't even want to spoil it for you, but I don't know how you tie those two together. Greg says every fight does not lead to a gunfight. That's true, but enough of them do. Enough of them do. But let's even function under the premise that the fight is not going to lead to a gunfight, which we know is not necessarily the case. It can. I think we can all agree that a fight can lead to a gunfight. But again, let's sit that to the side. Let's function under the premise that a fight is just a fight. It's just two people, fisticuffs or whatever, punching each other. Whatever. Okay, what does that solve? So I said your mama a hoe. And hold on, Facebook, I'm not actually calling anybody's mama a hoe. I'm on probation, so I gotta be careful. Facebook, I'm not actually calling anybody's mama a hoe. I'm using this as an example. So don't ban me for this. All right. All right. So I say your mama a hoe, and you punch me in the mouth, and I'll punch you back, and we fight, and I win. Do that mean your mama a hoe? Like, I won the fight. That means your mama a hoe, right? No, it don't. And if your mama was a hoe and you won the fight, that don't stop her from being a hoe. You know what I'm saying? It don't. So what did it solve? What did it solve? What did it solve? If I say you ugly, you don't like it, and so you punch me and I win, do that mean now you have to accept that you're ugly? Or I mean, if I win, you gotta accept you're ugly. If you win, then that means even if you're really ugly, I gotta accept that you're not. Like, what does it solve? I agree. It don't always lead to gun violence. But what does it solve? Nothing. I don't want to spoil everything for people, so I didn't want everybody to hear it. I bet you wouldn't say it again even if you think you won. Where have you been? People fight over and over and over the same stuff all over the world. That don't stop people from saying stuff. It don't. It don't. I mean, maybe if like you put a real good whooping on him or something like that, maybe it do, but come on. I can't believe you are actually extolling the virtues of violence in the community. You're actually extolling the virtues of violence. So in your mind, if somebody say something that somebody don't like, it's all right to just sock them. That's not only is it all right and acceptable, it's encouraged. And then we're wondering, why is there so much violence? Why is there so many shootings? Why is there so many killings? Because we got grown people who should know better, telling people that violence is okay. That violence is the way to handle your problems. And these are otherwise, I mean, you would think like these are intelligent people who are wise and even leaders in the community. I'm one of these people who, if you are running around encouraging violence, you shouldn't be allowed to complain about the shootings or the killings. Greg says, obviously you haven't been in a fight. How is that obvious? Second, no, I'm not encouraging violence, but self-defense is acceptable. You weren't talking about self-defense. You were not talking about self-defense. Stop it. That's not what you were talking about. You were talking about if I said something that you didn't like, then it would be okay to punch me because then I won't say it again. That's not self-defense. Do we not know what self-defense means? If I say your mama a hoe, and again, Facebook, I'm not calling nobody mama a hoe. If I say your mama a hoe, that's not you defending yourself. That's not even really you defending your mama. That's you not liking what I said. Actually, in that scenario, the person doing the self-defense would be me. When you come to strike me and I defend myself. Well, say, isn't that what one of your callers was talking about the other day? Yes. Yes. And then we're wondering why all the violence in the community? Because the elders in the community is encouraging it. The elders in the community they're not actually out there fighting, but they show encouraging the young people to fight. And then wondering, why do you shoot each other? You shouldn't be allowed to. You shouldn't be allowed to. You should be banned from asking that. Sammy says, words shouldn't be the cause of violence, but I understand. I never suggested punching anyone for verbal harassment, but if I warn you and you persist, that's a different scenario. No, it's not. No, it's not. Greg, I can't believe you're part of the problem. It is not a different scenario. That is the scenario. That is the scenario. If I say, I'm going to keep using your mama hoe because don't nobody want nobody to call their mama hoe. That'll make you mad. I know that'll make you mad. All right. So, Greg, if I say your mama a hoe and you say, don't you call my mama no hoe. Like, your mama a hoe. Don't you call my mama no hoe. I'm warning you. Don't call my mama a hoe. When does the scenario change? It's still words. It's still just words. So in your mind, what? The scenario changes the third time I say it, and now it's actual physical violence? No. No. That's not the way you do this. Let's see. Your mama wears combat boots, gonna get you slapped. That's irresponsible and childish. It's irresponsible and childish. Let's see, 513-717-5464. Let's see if this is working today. Hello.
Good afternoon, Emanuel. This is Brent from Dallas. How are you doing?
Good afternoon, Brent. I'm fantastic. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing fine, but I'm tired of all this wrestling slander that I'm hearing today. and, and, and down here in Dallas over the weekend, you know that it was a 2-night WrestleMania event at Jerry's World, to where they packed in, I think over the 2 days, 140,000 people.
Yes, they did.
Which is absolutely insane. Did you get a chance to watch both nights?
I did.
Okay. What were your thoughts on the main event? We'll go with that one.
Well, I don't like Roman Reigns, period. And I think him and Brock Lesnar are not good workers. Neither of them. So I didn't care for it. I would have rather them just stop with Stone Cold and Vince McMahon, even though that selling that stunner was the worst ever.
Now, I like the Roman Reigns' character, because it's come a long way, and now this whole head of the table and whole God knows persona suits him more. You know, they're trying to make him a good guy, and people are buying it. But I could easily see for next year's WrestleMania, Roman Reigns against his cousin, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
That's what they're trying to set up. That is definitely what they're trying to set up. They want to do that so bad. But again, I don't like him. I don't like the character. I do think it was a good idea to make him a heel and all of that kind of stuff, because he just wasn't getting over as a face. But I don't like I don't like him.
Yes, and then I was surprised that they did put the belt back on Bianca Belair, which was good, and especially after she got that heel kick to the orbital bone.
Oh yeah.
Which wrestling's fake. Yep, that's right. Tell her that after, I don't know if you seen that picture after the fight, but her jaw was all swollen up like a big dog.
it was, it was an accident. Accidents happen, and but I mean, again, it's not, and they weren't actually out there actually fighting. So to bring up, well, you saying people shouldn't be violent, but you watch wrestling, that's ridiculous.
Right. Oh yeah, and one last thing, now that we have AEW up and coming, been around for 3 years, and all these other independent promotions that are being elevated, will we see a return of Gorgeous Rick Rhodes?
Gorgeous Rick Rhodes retired years ago, but if they wanted to bring him back, Gorgeous Rick Rhodes, and tell you, he could rock the mic. He on the level of Paul Heyman or MVP, he would be amazing in that type of role.
Hey, well, they brought Stone Cold back in the ring after 19 years or so. Hey, they can bring Gorgeous Rick Rhodes out of retirement. All right. Hey, have a good weekend.
Hey, you do the same, Brent.
Appreciate your time.
All right.
Take it easy.
All right. That was Brent. You want to talk a little wrestling? Ain't nothing wrong with that. Let's see. I saw a few comments. Daryl says, here we go. Grown men discussing men rolling around in tights Bianca Belair is not a man, nowhere close to it. And oh, who is the young lady over there in AEW? She's the champion. I can't think of her name right now, but I like her. I like her. I will not acknowledge him as a tribal chief. I will not. um, what was it? See, the Brit done totally threw me off. He totally threw me off. Greg says, yeah, and if I tell you don't say that and you do, then I feel free to kick your ass. Yeah, and again, you can feel free to try. But this is where y'all keep running into the issues. Don't say that. I say it. Then you try to kick my ass, and then I shoot and kill you. Now, again, Facebook, I am not saying that. I know y'all think I'm trying to be funny, but I'm not trying to be funny. I get a message from Facebook when I say this stuff. And because it was something like this is apparently why I got put in Facebook jail. And so I have to keep saying it. I'm not encouraging people to shoot people. Okay? I'm not encouraging people to shoot people. But Greg, that's what's happening. Some of the times out here, what's happening is I told you not to say it. You said it. So I feel free to kick your ass, but I have a gun. And I'm not taking no ass kicking. So I shoot and kill you. Now, I'm the one who wrong. Because I should have just what? Got my ass kicked. Been okay with somebody committing an act of violence against me. Come on. Come on. Who's rocking the mic? I'm talking about in professional wrestling. Brent, yes, Jade Cargill. Oh my goodness, that Jade Cargill. Woo! Y'all know she got a baby by the dude. He used to play for the Reds. I don't remember which one he is, but yeah, she used to play for the Reds. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up a picture of y'all so y'all see why I'm wooing and all of that kind of stuff. This daggone Jade Cargill. She is she's a nice looking young lady. How about I just say that? She's a nice looking young lady. All right, hold on. Let me do this so y'all see I'm not just going bonkers for no reason. Miss Jade Cargill. Yes. Every once in a while, you just like to let that sit there and be what it is. You just let it sit there and be what it is. Yeah, even Dr. King was looking like, woo. Yeah. And y'all say watching wrestling is what? Come on, y'all don't know what y'all missing. Y'all don't know what y'all missing. Use other words than gun and shoot. Come on. It says cowards shoot people when it's one-on-one. No, people who want to shoot people when it's one-on-one. You don't got to be no coward. Don't commit acts of violence against people. Trish say, is she black? She's Brandon Phillips. Okay, yeah. Hold on, let me see. Lust? That's not lust. That's just an appreciation of beauty. It's not lust. At least I don't think it is. Like, I'm not thinking about like having sexual relations with her or anything. I'm not thinking about that at all. I'm just looking at her and I'm saying, she's a beautiful woman. That's not lust. At least not where I come from. Not where I come from. Now, Glenn, on the other hand, that's lust. She can get it. That's lust. That's lust. That's lust. um, let me see. He says, I say he because that's a lot of stuff. You're absolutely correct. There's a lot of us dead and gone because they thought they were just gonna super sock someone who ain't about to take ass whoopings. Sometimes we gotta walk away. Nah, it's lust. It's not lust. It's not lust. Jason saying, damn. Oh. No, oh, she nice, move on. Drool is lust. That's not true. That's not true. You can look at someone, they right there in front of you. What? Oh, she's beautiful. Now let me look away. Why would I look away from beauty? If I see a rose and that's a beautiful rose, but let me look away. No, it's a rose. Let me take it in. Let me enjoy it. And if it's there when I look back, I'm gonna look at it again. It's beautiful. It's a nice car. It's a beautiful car. I love that car. I like the way it looks. Well, let me not look at it too long. Look away. No, I like it. It's pleasing to look at. Why not look at it? That's not lust. Do y'all know what lust is? Look, I'm gonna have to hold some seminars. Oh, we literally come from the same place. You didn't understand the lesson then. You didn't understand the lesson. It's not lust. There's nothing wrong with looking at beauty and admiring and appreciating it. Nothing whatsoever. Mary says her body is all that. And she's a pretty lady. She's a pretty lady. It ain't like she just body, what they say, a dreamboat body with a shipwreck face. She's a pretty lady. So, yeah. Yes, I'm about to have to school y'all. I'm about to have to school y'all. Y'all don't know what lust is. And I had to teach y'all lust. Lust is, maybe there's a few definitions for lust, but if I'm looking at her thinking, "Ooh, I want to hit that. Oh, I want to tear that up. Oh, I wonder what the thing look like. And what this look like. Oh, I want to see her naked. Oh, I want to." You could say I'm lusting. But if I'm just like, she's gorgeous. Wow, she's gorgeous. Look at her. Wow, she's gorgeous. And I'm not, because when I look at her, in no way, shape, or form, and please don't ask me how, I blame Mrs. Livingston for this, but I don't look at and have those thoughts and stuff about women now other than Mrs. Livingston. So when I'm looking at her, I'm just like, she's beautiful. I can appreciate her beauty, but I'm not thinking about doing stuff with her. That's not lust. That's not lust. And it's not cheating. It's not cheating. Louis say, can you show the picture again? I didn't see it. I was working. I think I closed it. Did I close it? Louis, and I'm only doing this for you. I'm only doing this for you, Louis. All right? Not only because you didn't see it. Okay? Only because you didn't see it. Here, I'll show you this picture of her, since maybe they won't say I'm lusted if I show you she's fully clothed. Okay? She is fully clothed. And again, this is only Louis because you said you didn't see it. So let's see. That's her picture, fully clothed. Now am I still lusting? She's fully clothed, but she's beautiful. That's lust. It's not lust. Just because the woman is beautiful. You lusted. Be mad because y'all some haters. And then hold on, let me see if I can. And y'all forgive me, this is only because Lewis asked, and I, you know, as a man who, Lewis is a good dude, so this is for Lewis. That's another picture of her. All right, and that was only because Lewis asked. Otherwise, I definitely would not have put that picture up there. Definitely. And that's fully clothed. That was fully clothed. Who is she? Her name is Jade Cargill. She's a wrestler. And that's the only reason I brought her up, because somebody called to talk about wrestling. And we were talking about that. Oh, they're talking about men rolling around on the mat in tights. There's a lot of beautiful women who wrestle too. So it's not all you. Some of y'all just be missing stuff. If you're jumping, you're lusting. Huh? I don't even know what that means. Who baddest, her or Lupita? Ooh. Ooh. I don't even know that that's a fair question. It's not a fair question. They're just different. They're different. They're different. That's it. They're different. How you gonna ask me something like that? Maurice, see what you're missing when you're not watching wrestling? You see what you're missing when you're not watching wrestling? Jade Cargill is the All Elite Wrestling TBS Women's Champion. People do be spelling damn wrong. Oh, you would. My answer says I'd have abs like that if I didn't have fibroids. Yeah. Uh-huh. And I'd be built like Michael B. Jordan if I didn't have plantar fasciitis. My feet hurt. My feet hurt. That's what stopped me from looking like from being built like Michael B. Jordan in what was the movie Black Panther? It's only because my plantar fasciitis. Oh, that's funny. Oh, I'm telling you. Lupita in better shape. I don't know. I don't know. What your feet got to do with anything? The same thing your fibroids got to do with you not having abs like that. Yeah. Oh boy. Lewis says no man wants a woman with more muscles than him. You mad? You mad? Look, if Mrs. Livingston said to me, because this is like the only way it would happen. If Mrs. Livingston said to me, I don't want you no more. I'm moving on to another man. I'm getting a divorce. I'm moving out of the state. And then we moving out of the country. And I'm going to disappear from the face of the earth and I don't ever want to see you again. That's the only way that would happen. And then Jade Cargill came up trying to holler like, hey, I was watching you on YouTube. And I just happened to be scrolling through, and then I saw you put my picture up, and I thought, damn, I want a man with an unconventional hairline. I've been looking for you my whole life. Please. Oh, you got too many muscles for me. What man is going to say that? I'm sorry, I can't date you. Our muscles don't match up. Please. Please. That girl would beat you up for fun. It would probably be fun. It would probably be fun. But who are these people? I'm just telling you, that's the only way that it will happen. That's the only way that it will happen. I'm just letting y'all know. Lewis talking about sex looks painful with her. What kind of man are you? What kind of man are you? You are that man that women talk about. And ladies, I owe you an apology. I owe you an apology. When women talk about men being intimidated by them, I was always one of those men up until this point. I was always one of them men who said, ain't nobody intimidated by you. Ain't no man intimidated by you. You just got a nasty attitude. That's why he don't want. But apparently there are men who are intimidated by you. Now, I don't happen to be one of them. I don't believe that there's a woman out there that's too much for me, that's too smart for me, that's too fit for me, that's too make too much money for me. None of that kind of stuff. None of that. I don't believe in that at all. But apparently, I'm looking at some of these things coming through. I'm sorry, not that one. Wait a minute. Hold on. She would be the dominant in bed. What kind of man are y'all? Women, I honestly, I apologize. I apologize to y'all. So I genuinely didn't think that this thing was a thing. Well, there's a such thing as too young. Like, I ain't trying to rob no cradles. But if you're a man and you're looking at a woman and you thinking she's too, and whatever the two is, it's a good thing, you got issues. She's too smart. I don't want a woman that's smarter than me. You're not a real man. You're not a real man. She's too successful. I don't want a woman that's more successful than me. You're not a real man. You're not a real man. She's too fit. I don't want a woman that's fitter than me. That'd be different if, because you got some guys that like heavier women. And if that's what you like, then, that's cool. But if you're like, oh, I really like a fit woman, but she's too fit for me, you're not a real man. You're not a real man. She makes too much money for me. You're not a real man. A real man, I'm telling you right now, no ifs, ands, or buts. This is not just a matter of opinion. This is fact. A real man can deal with a woman that, I'm going to use the terminology above his level, but I don't really believe in that. But a real man can deal with any type of woman. A real man. No, she got too many muscles for me. Please. She would take over in bed. You would let her? You just gonna let her? You're not a man. You're not a man. And ladies, I'm sorry that y'all been having to deal with these guys. I'm sorry. I like to see who her dude. I'm assuming you mean you want to see what her dude looks like. But who? Brandon Phillips. You know who Brandon Phillips is? The baseball player. He used to play here in Cincinnati. Actually, I think they still together. I think they still together. But I know they have a child together. That was her dude. There is nothing wrong. It's about preference. I'm not going to be turned on by rubbing a hard body that doesn't feel womanly. That doesn't feel womanly to me. All right. If you say so. If you say so. But I did see E-man by the word man in the dictionary. You can't spell Emanuel without man. That's how much of a man I am. And I never have been and would not be intimidated by any woman. Now, again, if you because you're saying it's a preference thing, okay, I'm with that. If you're just like, I don't prefer that body type, nothing against it. Nothing against it. But that's not what you were saying. That's not what you were saying. You were just too intimidated. You felt like her being a physically strong woman. Her being a physically strong woman was too much for you to handle. And that's, ladies, apparently that's what y'all been dealing with. What, Lewis, maybe let me ask. My guess is a woman with a whole lot of money ain't sexually attractive to you either, right? A woman, a successful woman. Well, I mean, I like a woman, but it's a preference thing. I don't like all that success. I mean, I like a woman, but it's a preference thing. I don't like all that intelligence. It's a preference thing. I be talking to her like I'm talking to a man. She's so intelligent. Come on. Come on. I mean, it's just the truth. Wait a minute. So the Supreme Court justice gets a pass for marrying a white man, and I get judged for not wanting to date a hard body woman. This is why Democrats fail a lot. Okay, this is like the third or fourth dumbass thing that you done said today. You mixed way too much stuff in there for it to make sense. You mixed way. I'm not saying you a dumbass, but you sure saying some dumb stuff today. The Supreme Court justice gets a pass for marrying a white man. You probably wouldn't date her anyway. And based on kind of some of the things that you're saying, another true story. All my stories are true, but I had to preface them with they true because y'all be thinking I be making stuff up. I knew a very successful Black woman here in Cincinnati. Very successful. And she couldn't date a Black man. Black men would not date her because she was too successful. Because she was too successful. She ended up dating and marrying a white guy. And she loved him. She loved him. When she finally got to the point where she's like, he tried to holler at me. She didn't use the term holler. That's my term. He tried to holler at me like for months, and I wouldn't give him the time of day. And every time I turn around, he was trying to holler. He was trying to holler. He was very respectful and so on and so forth. He tried to holler. He tried to holler. And it just one day I finally said, well, I'll give him a shot. But I wanted to date a Black man. But then, I dated him and got to know him, and I grew to love him. And it didn't matter to me that he was white. What mattered to me was he was a good dude. I knew him. He treated me good. We had great chemistry and so on and so forth. And then they ended up getting married. Why do I bring that story up? Because Lewis, and it was somebody else on here. It was somebody else on here who said something. I really think y'all are the men that these women, or at least the type of men that these women are talking about when they're telling me about how men are intimidated by them. And again, I'm apologizing to the women because for years, I said, nobody intimidated by you. Nobody intimidated. Who you intimidating? But clearly some of y'all are intimidated. So I don't know. I apologize, ladies, for being that way for all of those years. Yeah, the Supreme Court. And that's why the Democrats, what that got to do with anything? What that got to do with anything? All right, I don't know what Fran said. So Lewis grew to love Donald Trump and the Republican Party despite their racism. Oh, that's a touching story of why to date white men. Them types of women love to talk to lesser males and make excuses about can't find a man. Straight sounding like a BET her movie. Come on, that's real. That's real. Like, I know this particular lady, and we had talked, and she really did in her heart want to date and marry and have a family with a black man. But she didn't want just any clown. You know what I'm saying? She didn't want just any clown. Sometimes. And I'm saying for the sisters. Then this is just sometimes the brothers make it hard on the sisters. When they talk about there being a shortage, I don't know that there's a shortage per se. But there are a lot of good dudes that are intimidated. Now, I'll tell you who ain't intimidated. The knuckleheads ain't intimidated. They're not intimidated at all. The knuckleheads will walk up to Jade Cargill every day of the week. What's up, baby? What's up, baby? Saying all kind of whatever. They don't care. They ain't intimidated. None of that kind of stuff. But a lot of the dudes that act like they got some sense don't have no backbone. I wonder sometimes, what happens there. And then I get on women, because I do. It's the truth. I get on women about choosing the knuckleheads and then complaining about the fact that they got a knucklehead that they chose. But if the knuckleheads is all that's willing to talk to them, and maybe some of us, I'm saying us as in men with good sense. Good afternoon, GC. I saw you. I didn't say it fast enough, I guess. Good afternoon, GC. But maybe some of us with good sense need to get more backbone. Stop being scared and intimidated. I don't even know how we got here. That's how we got here. I showed a picture of a beautiful woman. And then a few men start shaking and was intimidated. And it was just a picture on the screen. No, that wasn't what I wanted. You make excuse for them joining the other side. You part of the problem. No, Lewis, you part of the problem. You part of the problem. Well, I was about to say, maybe you're not part of the problem in that way. Maybe you're not part of the problem in that way. Because I'm not going to say that. But just stop being intimidated. Stop being intimidated. I'm really beginning to as I go forth and speak, I'm beginning to feel even worse for the women. Because y'all know, societally, women ain't supposed to be approaching men. Women are supposed to be approached. And there are a lot of women who feel a certain way. They see you and they're not going to approach you. Because, gender roles, all of that good stuff, which I agree with, by the way. I agree with. I like gender roles. I like yeast rolls too, but that's not what we're talking about. I just saying it made me think about yeast rolls. I'm gonna have to go get me some rolls today at some point. Maybe about 6 of them. Go get about 6 rolls. I don't know how I got there. I like gender roles. So what happens is I completely threw myself off thinking about yeast rolls. But what happens is women can't approach you. It's your job to approach them. It's your job. No, not Golden Corral. Not Golden Corral. I got a different spot that I go to for the rolls. But it's your job to approach them. And if y'all not approaching, but other people are, what they supposed to do? For real. What's a sister supposed to do? Just be lonely? Because brothers either don't or can't present themselves appropriately? Or are they too intimidated to talk to them? Would you, Lewis, would you talk to a Harvard grad? Harvard Law School graduated Harvard undergrad, graduated Harvard Law, clerked for the Supreme Court. And she, I guess, is in whatever circles, she come through the drive-thru. I don't know where you hang out, but you say you work the drive-thru. She come through the drive-thru. You see her, you think she's attractive. And I don't know how you spit game out the drive-thru, but somehow you knew this woman graduated from Harvard and then Harvard Law and clerked for the Supreme Court. Would you shoot your shot? Would you shoot your shot? Lewis says, typically black women who marry white men blame the black men for them having to marry up. I'm just asking you, Lewis, would you shoot your shot? Or would you be intimidated? He says, I would in a heartbeat, without hesitation. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. What if you are not approachable? What does that mean? What does that mean? What does it mean, not approachable? You frowning and all that kind of stuff. That's a thing. That's real. So if it's that way, a lot of this stuff, intimidation apparently is real. Intimidation apparently is real. Me personally, I wouldn't have no issue trying to get my holler on in any situation. In any situation. What's the worst that can happen? She could say no. What's the worst that can happen? Oh. Yes, rolls just popped into my mind. I said gender roles and I thought yeast rolls. Get over it. Get over it. Crystal said talking about men approaching women. All right. All right. There was something else that was actually in the news that I wanted to discuss. Carl says there are too many fish in the sea. All right. Lewis says, I just met a Latina running for common pleas judge in Lexington. What? You gonna try to get with a Latina? She not black. You gonna try to get with a Latina? Come on. Started dating game. What does that mean? GC. What does that mean? Oh, start a dating game. Is it difficult out there, GC? Or is it just my imagination? I talk to sisters, and sisters tell me it is difficult out there to find a good brother. Samuel says, the time I got shot down, she said, I'm not attracted to you, but your friend is nice. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got to be honest. Got to be honest. Now, of course, I wouldn't introduce you to my friend, but there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. I've had women approach me who I was not attracted to. And I've said to them, because I'll be trying to be honest. You seem like a nice person. But, from a physical perspective, you're not my type. I've said that before. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm just trying to be honest. And I've had women say that to me. Like, you seem like a really nice guy. But, physically, I'm not attracted to you. I'm like, all right, I can get with that. So, everybody ain't going to be attracted to everybody. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Mary says it's difficult. Yes. Mary, what are the problems that you run into? What are the problems that you run into? Jarika says it's as difficult as it's always been, I'm sure. It's not easy for women. Never has been. Myosha says, my husband and I were talking about this last week. We both wondered how people date today, and both were thankful we don't have to do that anymore. All right. So you and Genghis was talking about the dating scene. I'm asking Mary. Brent, well, no, what's the call-in number again? 513-717 King. 513-717-5464. 513-717-5464. That's 717 King. You at least could have scraped her even if he wasn't. That's just terrible. That's terrible. I regret I ever said that. There's nothing wrong with it. Not wrong with it. I mean, it was y'all little secret, but now that we know. Um, Jerica, you want to scream for folks getting damn spelling damn wrong, but E-Man just keep pronouncing your name wrong. Because she's also known as. That's what I'm saying. She's also known as. Um, I hear other people say it, and they never get corrected. So I figure they're both acceptable pronunciations of her name. 513-717 King. That's 513-717-5464. 5464. Now, look, women, y'all do bring y'all own challenges to the game. Now, this particular woman that I know, she was in a different situation. She was a successful woman. She wasn't looking for nothing from no man except for companionship and love. She didn't have no kids, and that's big, ladies. That's big, because a lot of y'all don't know how to act when y'all got kids. And when I say don't know how to act, what I mean is y'all don't know how to navigate the whole blended family thing. A lot of y'all don't know how to navigate that. So, let's see. Love that shirt. You look so fresh and happy. Well, thank you. Thank you. Maybe my husband will give me a pass to do some research on the current difficulties of dating in 22 on behalf of the afternoon experiment. Hey, if you need me to holler at him, just, give him the number. You got the number. Give him the number. I'll tell, hey, let's rap a taste, bro. I need some real world experience. I can make that happen for you. Just give him the number. Just give him the number. I actually had a guy ask me what's wrong with me because I don't have kids. I was like, dang it, what? You don't have to explain, sir. Women don't know. All right. Tria says, what do you mean? What about y'all not knowing how to navigate the blended families? Y'all don't. Y'all get it so wrong. Y'all get it so wrong. Y'all, people talking about the shirt. I guess I had to show the shirt. It'll probably be out of focus. That's the Black Lives Matter. Ignore the fact. Franklin, Black Lives Matter. And I am working on putting together the merchandise and the t-shirt empire. Men aren't consistent. No, I don't know that that's the case. I mean, I'm sure some men aren't. But I know from personal experience, having dealt with a number of women with children at previous times in my life, that women don't know how to navigate that very well. And children, in particular bad children, can create all kind of terrible situations. People want you to be one thing, and they want you to be daddy when they want you to be daddy. They want you to develop this relationship and do all these things, but so they want you to take on all of this responsibility, but then they want to manage the way you take on all of this responsibility to the point that it's not good. Because I don't want to specifically get into any specific situations, because I notice some people watch this show and I don't want them to be like, why was you talking about me on radio? But it's particularly difficult dealing with a woman, and I would imagine as a woman dealing with a man with children. With what's the terminology that Caesar uses when he's talking about his dogs? I know that didn't come out right, but it's the same thing. Balanced. If you're dealing with children who aren't balanced and disciplined, it creates a heck of a bad situation. And especially if if you start cohabitating or something like that, she move in with her kid. Now you're supposed to be there. You're supposed to take on the responsibilities of a daddy, but only certain ones, because there's certain ones that you can't do because you're not the daddy. But I can feed them. I can take them to school. I can pick them up. I can buy their clothes. I can make sure that they clothes is clean. I can do all of this stuff. All of this. But if they talk crazy to me, what, I got to tell you so you can handle it? That's crazy. That's crazy. And that stuff does, I mean, it happens. Carl says women are more stable. In regard to what? In regard to what? I don't know what you're talking about. We because we gonna have blended families, because men and women make horrible decisions or have been making, not all, but a lot of men and women have been making horrible decisions when it comes to their sexual freedom, and then getting into bad relationships or relationships that they never even intended to last. They're having children, and then you go out into the world, and I'm not going to call them baggage. I'm not going to call them baggage, but you go out into the world with you and your children, and sometimes unreasonable expectations. And look, I'm saying this because I really do believe in family. I believe in family. I believe that's one of the ways that we fix America as a whole, but the Black community specifically, is actual families where a man and a woman who love each other and respect each other work hard to create a better life than they had for their children, to teach their children right from wrong, to be good, productive citizens, to educate them and help them achieve whatever it is that they are supposed to achieve in life. That's a part of what I believe a family is for. And I think when parts of that is missing, I think that's kind of how we end up where we are. That's a part of it. That's not the whole, but that's a part of how we end up where we are. Leroy says, I'm an old dude. If it's nice, I'm going to take a look. And with smiles, now is the time, the moment. Okay. Some men don't want ready-made families, but they expect women to accept him and his children with open arms. Is that the norm? Is that the norm? I think that can be a situation. But it's been my experience that typically, not always, but typically, the custodial parent is the woman. So really, you typically won't have to deal with that child a lot. A lot. I don't know if that makes a difference. But I'd imagine living in the house with the child, you know, what, 12 days out of a 2 week period, as opposed to two, can make a difference. That can make a difference. What is this? We really gonna have to talk about the whole blended family thing and the whole dynamic of it. Because it's not easy on anybody. It's not easy on the, I'm gonna say, the outside person. It's not easy on the parent, and it's not easy on the child. Uh, somebody asked me something. Somebody asked me something. And every time I go to scroll to it, something else happens. Let me see. Phyllis says, I have a 3-second rule. Look, then look away, or you will be on the couch or out the door. He has the same for me. That kind of sounds like a stupid rule. That sounds like a stupid rule to me. You can have your rule, and it might make perfect sense to you, but to me, it doesn't make sense. Now, granted, it's not a rule for me. It's a rule for you and your family, but because you brought it up to me, I'm going to share my thoughts on it, and it sounds stupid. You can look. I don't care about you looking. What is you looking gonna hurt anything? And just for the record, I ain't sleeping on nobody's couch unless I fall asleep on the couch. Ain't nobody making me go sleep on no couch in no house that I pay any bills in. Go sleep on the couch, please. You go sleep on the couch. I ain't sleep. I'm in this bed. I got this because I got the little heating pad on the bed. I need the mattress pad that heats up. Couch don't do all that. Couch is leather. You get all sweaty. No, I ain't doing that. Even if it wasn't. I'm not doing that. I never even understood that concept. Go sleep on the couch. Who are you? If you don't want to sleep with me, take your ass out there and sleep on the couch. I pay too many bills to not be comfortable. Phyllis says she loves the tea. She wants one. Carl says men have to stand up and be a man. Women tend to be more considerate. I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true. If the guy is an involved father, he's going to want to see his kids. True. True. What did Tria say that you were thinking the same thing? What did I miss? I missed something. Hold on, I'm scrolling through here, y'all. Sleeping in the Highlander. It ain't happening. It is not happening. And look, I'm not in a situation where Mrs. Livingston has ever asked me to go sleep on no couch or nothing like that. I say this and people don't believe me. We've been together for a number of years. I don't remember how many. I'm terrible with stuff like that. Like she had to keep reminding me, and to some degree, it's not all that important to me, right? Because I'm like, we together. What difference do it make if it's been 4 years or if it's been 5 years, or it's been 7 years, it's been 10 years? We together and we happy. Who counting? Who counting? But I don't remember. But it's been a number of years. I think it's been like 10. I think it's been 10 total. 7 married, 10 total. But we still ain't never had an argument. We disagree, but we still ain't never had an argument. Like legit. We have never had an argument where, voices was elevated or anything like that. Like the way we argue, she say something, and I be thinking, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's and then so I'll say, that's wrong. And she'll say, no, it's not wrong. And I'll say, no, it's wrong. And she'll say, you got a right to feel that way. And I'll say, you're right, I do. That's about the extent of the argument. And we might get into the facts. We might get into the facts or even into feelings. But the typical response is going to be, you got a right to feel that way. I'm not trying to make you feel any other way. It's a matter of we respect that we don't see eye to eye on everything. What she feels is what she feels. What I feel is what I feel. And just because I feel this way about it and you feel that way about it, don't make you wrong and me right. It just means we feel differently. And we might process information differently. But we've never had an argument. So no, I've never been asked to go sleep on the couch. But if I was asked to go sleep on the couch, I'm not going to sleep on no couch. That's not happening. I don't understand people who sleep on the couch. I don't understand. I don't understand people who ask people to sleep on the couch. Look, for I don't know how long, I've had a king size bed. I believe in a good king size bed. Here's why I believe in a good king size bed. One of the reasons. Number, I like to roll over and stuff. I'm a kind of a restless sleeper. And, y'all know, I have to wake myself up from time to time. So as a restless sleeper and someone who has to, who's demonstrative and even verbal in his sleep, people need space. But then number two, if you mad at me, we beefing, you can be on your side and I can be on my side, and we got enough room where we ain't got to touch each other. And again, luckily that hasn't happened. That hasn't happened. But hey, I believe in a king size bed. I believe in a king size bed. Carl says, you just finished telling us if men don't think as you think, then we are not real men. And that's true. I don't know why you brought it up. I guess you just wanted to reiterate it, but it's true. I don't have night terrors. I don't have night terrors. I'm a vivid sleeper. I'm a vivid sleeper. But yeah, like this morning, and I didn't have to scream to wake myself up. But this morning, I was having this dream where I was at a school. And I was running sound for a band that was rehearsing at the school. And they was rehearsing, everything was all good. And then the principal of the school came in and they had lights and everything, and they was getting ready to do an assembly. And they was like, are you ready? And I was like, no, I didn't know nothing about this. So I got to run around and try to figure out, and stuff ain't working. And then they said, well, the other soundboard is over there. So I got to now get lines from this soundboard to that soundboard. And then I got to get lines from my soundboard to the monitor board. And it was so much. And I was like, I need to wake up. There's too much going on. I'm frustrated in my sleep. And I know when I'm dreaming. I'm one of those people who I say in my dream Well, this is a dream, so it don't matter. But I was frustrated. So I said, I got to wake up. And I don't know exactly how I did it. I'll have to give some real thought to that. But I just woke up. I was like, I had to wake myself up from that dream because I was getting frustrated. So I'm a vivid dreamer. I don't have night terrors, but sometimes I can't wake myself up that easily. Sometimes I have to do something to wake myself up, like scream. I might have to scream now and then to wake up. Oh, and apparently I was laughing a lot last night in my sleep. That's what I was told. Like you was over there cracking up. I don't remember anything funny happening in my dream, but apparently something really funny was happening. All right, y'all. I gotta get ready to get out of here. I gotta get ready to get out of here. I did not have to scream this time. I typically hate dreams where I'm back in high school because in my dreams where I'm back in high school, I, I I'm still a grown 51-year-old man who had to go back to high school. This is a recurring dream. I'm a 51-year-old man who had to go back to high school to take 2 more classes to graduate. And I'm sitting in class, 51, walking around like, why am I taking these classes? I hate it. I hate going back to high school in my dreams. Do you not have to pee? Uh, I be having to pee in my dreams. I'm like everybody else. You know, when you pee in your dreams, why are we talking about this? When you pee in your dreams, it hurt. When you pee in your dreams, it hurt. So, when I say I can tell when I'm dreaming, like I don't automatically know I'm dreaming. But when things start happening and I don't like, and I have to think about it, like, wait a minute, I'm not awake. This is a dream. And so I can come to that realization. But yeah, when you gotta pee in your dream, it hurt. That's how I know when I'm dreaming, when I gotta pee. I go to the bathroom and I start peeing and it hurt. And I'll be like, why do it hurt? Like, I've never had one of them diseases where, you have a burning sensation when you urinate. But in my mind, I imagine that this is what it feels like. And I know I shouldn't be experiencing this. So then I'd be like, oh, I'm asleep. I better stop peeing before I actually pee. So, yeah. Um, reoccurring. You have some unfinished high school business. Oh, uh, how will it hurt? It just hurt. It just hurt coming out. Like y'all don't experience that. I can't be the only one. When you go to pee when you have to pee in your dream. And then you go to pee and it hurts. And so that's how you know you're not awake. And so you better not pee. I can't be the only one who experiences that. I can't be the only one. Come on. Then how do you know when you got to pee in your dream? When you sleep and you got to pee. How do you know? And then you just don't pee in the bed? Or is y'all just peeing in the bed? Or y'all just peeing in the bed? Oh. All right, y'all. I really do. I got to get out of here. I got a 3:30 meeting that I got to make it to. What? I'm just honestly asking. I'm just honestly asking. I don't typically have much in the way of issues with that. I wake up. Carl says, I feel like I'm about to pee. In my mind, Carl, you just pee in the bed. You just pee. And then you be like, I just wash the sheets. in my mind, but I don't know. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, talking about nothing today. I appreciate y'all. Great job on the church lighting. I appreciate y'all. Carl says he gets up. Okay, Carl, you get up. All right. Everybody, have an amazing weekend. Have an amazing weekend. And as always, I hope that something amazing happens to you and happens for you over the course of this weekend. Until Monday at 1 o'clock, it's been the afternoon experiment. I'm Emanuel Livingston. I'm out, y'all. Peace.